Hi, welcome to the Stream of David Live. I am here with the fabulous, always fabulous Debbie G. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. This is just what I need right now is to be here with you while we channel the stream.
Little stream time.
I need some stream. I need this. I need some stream time. Seriously. Um, what I know is that after we do these, that I'm always more balanced and I feel better. So it's more for me than you, David. But I'm glad to be here.
That's okay. Selfishness is not a problem in my world. You can do everything for you. Because we know when you take care of you, you've got more to offer everyone else.
Completely. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Terry. So Debbie and I literally just jumped on. So we haven't talked in a couple of weeks, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what's new in your world over at SGW?
Well, what's new in our world?
It's where we are. So
we are making some big, giant leaps for the human race. Like literally, we are expanding to. We're expanding to television. We are networked with Europe heavily, and we have serious production coming. You'll find out about that on Friday, David. It's going to be remarkable, the things that we're able to offer to everybody. And it's just an amazing experience. And also just the exciting things that we have happening that are going to be to do with David and the kind of interactions and stuff that are coming. It's crazy good. It's just awesome. But none of it would have happened without taking Taya boot camp. I mean, I've actually told people we have 21 members, co-creators on Spirituality Gone Wild now. And I've told them all, you really need to take Taya boot camp. I don't know how else to express it, but you really need to do it. So maybe we'll work out a deal for our co-creators on Spirituality Gone Wild to take this because I think it's important. And if anybody here watching, if you're wondering why, and this isn't just because I'm sitting here with David, it is because I did it. It's one of the best ways to get yourself in alignment with where you want your life to go. It's that simple. So do it.
thank you. Thank you for the plug for Taya. Taya is my life's work and my passion, as you know, and I'm thrilled to see it changing lives all over the world the way that it does. So thank you for starting us off with that. And Janine, hi Janine. Terry is a recent graduate of Taya Boot Camp. She just posted a lovely post today about spending time with her mother and how the Taya tools are helping with that endeavor. Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight, and I actually was off last week. I was in Wisconsin experiencing fall last week, which was really nice, actually.
You're in Wisconsin?
I was in Wisconsin last week, yeah.
What were you doing in Wisconsin?
Michael has a house to sell up there, and we went up to get it ready to sell. It's kind of out in the country, so I have a lovely shot of me sitting on the porch drinking bourbon out of a mason jar, watching the sun go down, watching the storm come through. Even saw the snow, which was nice, just a little bit of snow, and just enough cold to make me appreciate coming back to Southern California.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a good time. We had a lot of fun.
I love it. That is great. I'm sharing out as we're talking.
So I gave the stream a week off for the first time in a while, and I took a week off, and it was just nice. It was really nice. But now we're back, and it's time to bring the stream in just a few minutes. I just kind of like to talk a little bit, say hi to everybody as everybody's signing on. If you are watching this on Spirituality Gone Wild, you can share it out. If you are watching on the Stream of David, you can share it out. But primarily, this is a Spirituality Gone Wild centric show on Wednesdays. We just pop it into other places. But if you haven't checked out Spirituality Gone Wild, definitely check it out. Debbie and her cohorts, her 21 now cohorts, are doing a lot of, and I'm one of them, are doing amazing things over there. I just show up and do my hour, but she has a lot of people doing a lot of fantastic shows on Spirituality Gone Wild, and she's expanding into different networks. I think Spirituality Gone Wild is going to be some sort of an online television entity ultimately it sounds like you're getting really close to that, which is fantastic. Spreading. And I love spirituality gone wild because it's not one brand of spirituality. It's everything. It's the nice big tent. So you get to sample a little bit of everything. And I think it all comes back to just feeling good, feeling the flow of positive energy, loving yourself more, raising your vibration. And there's lots of different perspectives and points of view. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, that is it. Somebody asked the other day, is this a Christian network? It's not any specific belief system ever. It is every belief system welcome. No matter what that might be. You could be agnostic, you could be atheist, you could be Christian, you could be Baptist, you could be nothing. You could be zero. You could be, I don't subscribe to zero. It doesn't matter. This is about self-empowerment. This is about living the best life you can live and getting the tools to live the best life you can live. And some of us hear differently than others. That's just how we are. And so depending on what you hear that resonates with you at that time, and that's what we can offer. What's great is that we are expanding because we're expanding the way we are, especially in Europe. That is going to, I have truth chills. The gratitude I feel right now, David, it's just big. It's huge. It's huge. You know why? Because, like, guys, it's one thing. I love what I do, and I love doing my shows and stuff. But do you realize the impact here is all of you, David? Like, I've known you for quite a while, and to know that we can all together can be seen, and like I can get you the right place into the right places, into the right eyes and ears. I mean, it's pretty freaking humbling and just a gratitude thing. It's just full appreciation. It's pretty cool.
Very nice. And I have to say that, it's interesting. One great piece of clarity among many that I've gotten from the stream is that there is no one size fits all in this world, and there never will be. We're living in a polarized environment, but we're all here on unique spiritual journeys, if you will. We're all eternal souls here having a unique expression of what we perceive as a human experience. And in that, we're never going to come together and all agree on everything, but we don't have to.
No.
We don't have to all come together and have the same thought and the same beliefs and the same goals even. The path to joy is available now, because the path to joy is zooming out and really allowing all of these different belief systems to coexist, because there is no one path. The stream has said many times, the entire planet is not ready for the stream, and the stream is not the right path for the entire planet. Even though they're teaching universal law, which is universal, that path, not everyone is on that path. Some people are very well served by a religious path. Some people are well served by an agnostic or atheist path. People are served in different ways in this lifetime. And when we remove fear, we're able then to remove judgment. And when we do those two things, you can really zoom out and see the world from source perspective. And when you do that, you don't need to be right. You don't need other people to agree with you. And in this day and age, especially if you are following politics in the United States, for example, not needing to be right and not needing to control the outcome is so empowering, because the polarization of politics and all of these other topics that we see sort of amping up as the world speeds up, there's a purpose in that, and the stream can come in and talk more about that. But the byproduct of that is the more you zoom out and disconnect from the need for an outcome, the more you trust your abundance, and the less you need for any external thing to change to make you happy, the happier you are in your now.
That's right.
You don't have to be glued to the news worrying about what's going on in the world, because you create your bubble of reality. And the stream's message is all about you doing a better job of creating your bubble of reality. And a key component of that is not needing to be right, not needing people to agree with you, and not needing people to behave in a certain way that pleases you. And when you let go of all of that stuff, life gets really, really good, because you're experiencing joy on a daily basis. So that's what Taya is all about. So when you lay that foundation, the reason Taya is so effective in helping people change their lives is because we build that foundation of non-fear and non-judgment. From there, it's so much easier to allow the universe to do what it does naturally, which is deliver abundance. We live in an abundant world. But if you turn on the news, it doesn't seem so abundant. It seems broken and damaged and awful and terrible, and everybody's fighting. But look around you. That's not really true. We can live in joy and peace and harmony now without needing the whole planet to come together, kumbaya, and all suddenly start agreeing on everything. That's not going to happen. And it's not supposed to happen that way. So wrapping your mind around that idea of creating and existing in your own bubble of reality, understanding that your high vibration has more to offer your fellow humans than trying to fight for something. Right. I'm fighting for their rights. I'm going to get out. I'm going to fight for their rights. I'm going to fight for this. We're going to fight. We're going to declare war against, XYZ. And nothing ever gets solved that way. It's just this perpetual demonstration, all of this anger. And really the solutions come when we actually go up our spiral into high vibration. And we can't do that if we're not living joyously, if we're not loving ourselves, and if we're not at peace with our lives.
That's exactly what my experience has been right there. And look, I was brought up a certain way to think a certain way, and I was taught a certain way, and this is how you do it. Till I realized that maybe that wasn't so right after all. And that maybe just possibly there might be another way to do it. So through this next hour, what I want to encourage everybody to do is to really take in a deep breath and allow what's going to come forward. And rather than judge it, go into that state of observance or zoom out to just allow what is and just sit with it without judging what it looks like, just nothing, just to be with it. The vibration has no thought. We can put a word to it. Appreciation, gratitude, that's a vibrational word. But really, it's that feeling that we're looking for inside, that heart conscious space. And if you want a good test, if something is real for you or not, is put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, is this true for me? Not is this true for somebody else or blah, blah, yada, 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 but is this true for me? Because you see, what's true for your neighbor, your parents, Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane may not be your truth. And your truth matters, you see. And so I just encourage you to allow messages to come in and to keep in mind that even if your question doesn't get answered, that most of the time the stream either answers the question prior to me relaying it or before you can even ask it. So get those questions ready. Everything's on the table. Everything's welcome. David will go into a trance channel. And what that is that he goes into a quick state of meditation. And we call it stepping aside. But what that means, literally, actually, that is kind of what that means. Imagine when you're in a dreamlike state, or you're in a state. Have you ever daydreamed before? Like you're daydreaming and you're kind of floating around. And you're not really here, but you're aware that stuff's going on, but you're not really here because you're off in your daydream. It's kind of like that. You ever been driving down the freeway, David, and went off into a daydream kind of thing?
Yeah, we call that low thought activity, but that's really what's happening when you're doing your low thought activity is a form of meditation. And you can actually, and I'm not talking about driving and meditating as far as closing your eyes or anything like that, but when you get into low thought activity where it's taking your concentration to do something down just enough so that your mind doesn't have all of this other garbage racing around. And when I say garbage, we all do. We all have all of these thoughts that are just racing around all the time. When you're having to focus on something like driving, that can actually be a form of meditation because it takes your focus down enough to allow your natural source connection to be realized. And that's why these great ideas pop in.
That's right.
When you're taking a shower, when you're doing something just enjoyable but mundane, where you're having to concentrate on what you're doing just a little bit, all of that information is available all the time. but we drown it out with our chattery minds. And my mind is just as chattery as anybody's. Our chattery minds, our negative thoughts, our down the spiral thinking, spending time being fearful about things, all of that sort of thing holds us away from all that wealth of information that's available to us. Mm-hmm. So when you quiet your mind and you allow your source connection to be realized, which is available to everybody, you are channeling. You may not want to or develop the ability to speak it like I do, but you're still doing your version of it. The stream flows through all, and they say that they flow through all creation and they're available to all. But we have to learn to stop drowning it out because it's always there. It's sort of always on, like a constant Wi-Fi connection. And that's why meditation is so important. One of my favorite low thought activities, some people call it a cathartic activity, is ironing. I love ironing. And I send my clothes to the cleaners. I still love ironing. We have the crispest napkins you'll ever see. So the thing about ironing for me is that it takes your attention because you don't want to burn yourself and you don't want to burn whatever you're ironing, right? So you have to pay attention. You have to focus a little bit on what you're doing. But there's just something about that combination of low thought activity, the steam, and the fact that you're accomplishing something. Those things for me and for a lot of people, that is a really good form of meditation. So if you're ever so far down in vibration, or if you're not good at meditation, if you're not good at just quieting your mind, even for a few moments, or maybe you're just so low on the vibrational spiral that when you sit, you can't stop it. It's just flowing. Go iron. Try it. Try ironing as a low thought activity and see how it works to raise your vibration. The steps in raising your vibration that I like to recommend is the first would be low thought activity if you're really down. Then would be appreciation, gratitude, and then move up into simply quieting your mind. Gratitude is a lovely, and Debbie is all about gratitude, Debbie G. But if you aren't so low in vibration, you can just start with gratitude. One of my favorite things to do is look for 3 to 5 things to be thankful for in any situation. So if you find yourself in a negative state and you're at work or you're out and about, maybe you're stuck in traffic, maybe you're a little stressed out about something, stop in the moment and look for 3 to 5 things to appreciate. You will instantaneously raise your vibration. And whatever results you're getting in the moment, perhaps you're I had a morning this morning where I had to get to the dentist by 8 a.m. and I was running a little late. And then I pull out of the driveway and there's a guy that wanted to talk to me about chopping down trees. And I had to tell him, kind of in a hurry, let's talk about this later. And then I get out to the main road and it's closed. And I'm like, okay, I need to stop this little pattern right now by finding things to appreciate, raising my vibration. And then the rest of the day was fine after that. The rest of the trip was fine after that. The dentist was fine after that. But I had to do a little vibrational work because I realized, okay, this is in my path and that's in my path and that's in my path. That means I'm already down a little bit. Nothing major, a boulder didn't follow my car or anything like that, but it was just enough little signs from the universe that, hey, your vibe is not where it's supposed to be. Because when your vibe is way up there, everything is just open right up for you, always.
Right, always.
Yeah. And so I really pay very, very close attention to my vibration all the time. And I know when I'm down and I know when I'm up. And if I'm in less than joy, I'm down.
And right now, we're getting ready to head into the holidays. And we're getting ready to head into the holidays with a new COVID, reinforced COVID restrictions. So,
I can't even keep up with California. I don't even know where we are with restrictions right now. The week I was here before, the gym was out in the parking lot. That's the last thing I know about California.
Well, here in Huntington Beach, everything's been open, so it's not like, but we're in Huntington Beach, and quite frankly, just to even get people to wear masks here is a trick, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know either. But I know that people across the entire United States, I know that I talked to our friends over in England, and they get busted if they're on a train without permission. They are literally getting fines. So what I would like to do is let's talk to the stream about what can we do to go into this, raise that vibration. We'll get into some stuff that we need to really hone in on our tools, not go down the spiral because of what's happening outside, but really use this as a grand opportunity. Number 2, guys, we're getting a second chance. COVID's giving us a second chance to do it again. So let's do it right this time and not go down the spiral into muck. And let's do it right. So rather than looking at COVID as being our enemy, God bless those who are sick, because I know it stinks. Look at this. Massachusetts, you get a fine. Okay, so we're going to look at how COVID can work for you, not against you. You see, one of the tricks that Taya that talks about and teaches that it's probably one of the most important tricks ever is that life is working for you, not against you, in all circumstances and in all ways, always, always, which is a hard pill to swallow sometimes. And I get that, but we can talk about why that is. You ready to channel?
Yeah. All right. So what happens now is you can go ahead and start typing questions in for the stream. I always say, if you haven't watched this before, I think Debbie did a really good job describing of what goes on. I channel Source, and Source is available to everyone. My intention with my channeling is to dive right into the core of Source, the intelligence that created the universe, that continues to create the universe. And that's what I deliver to you with as little human filtration as possible. My personal prejudices have all been detuned and removed, and none of that is filtering through the message. So you're getting very, very pure information from the stream. And some people are ready for that and some people aren't, but it is what it is. So if this isn't the right thing for you, as the stream says, you're right to move on from it. But give it a chance. See if it resonates with you. Type your questions in. The only limitations to the questions are my intellect and vocabulary. So I need to know what you're talking about to be able to process the information and speak something back to you from the stream. Other than that, there's nothing that's off limits. You can ask about anything that you want to ask about. Definitely, we're talking about COVID and restrictions and things like that. So we can kind of dive into some questions around that. I'll let Debbie kind of lead all that with the stream. And right now what we do is we do a little meditation together. This is a very special little moment that we have where I quiet my mind, raise my vibration, do a little deep breath work. I invite you to do the same with me, wherever you are. Don't worry about feeling silly, sitting and closing your eyes and meditating and breathing. It's a very powerful thing for the collective that is participating here, even if you're watching this in the future, to do this breath work and to do a little meditation and set an intention to get everything that you want and need from the stream. And you will. Every time. Okay.
Every time.
We are here.
Wonderful to be here with you, stream. Our first question is, how do I know what is my energy if I'm able to feel someone else's toothache? This happened the other day. How do you know if it's your energy or somebody else's is really, I think, that question.
We would guide you to not concern yourself so much with whether it's your energy or your personal vibration that you're feeling or not. The fact is you are experiencing it. And if it's something that is ongoing in your body, it is something that you have absorbed vibrationally somehow and needs to be released if you wish to move on from the feeling. The early onset appreciation of, while not ignoring something that you've manifested that could turn into something with more momentum if you ignore it. While we will state that healing yourself of anything is completely possible, as all things are possible, tuning your vibration to the vibration of healing when that is not your dominant vibration may be quite challenging for you. You are able to manifest anything that you can align your belief system with. But if you have already manifested a condition that is causing pain and your belief system is wavering with vibrational flow, as it often does, We speak very often of vibrational flow, the fact that polarity is drawing your vibration up and down a virtual vibrational spiral at all times. When you're in high vibration, it is easier for you to trust. It is easier for you to believe. It is thus easier for you to heal yourselves. When your vibration drops a bit, when you become frustrated with the pain and allow that vibration to continue to drop and begin questioning the origin of the pain. Are you absorbing yours, or are you being empathic and absorbing the pain of another? All of that thinking is only going to promote more of. Whereas if you turn your focus away from it toward appreciation and understand that if you have gone far down the path of manifesting an illness, then the very best that you can do is set a high vibrational intention for a path to healing that absolutely can include medicine of some sort. And again, this revolves around your belief system. If you believe traditional Western medicine is the path to healing, and somebody comes along and tells you that Eastern medicine or that meditation, it works very well for them. If you can bring yourself to believe that, that will work for you. If you were questioning, if you were doubting, if you were fearing, if you were wondering, you are better off pursuing something that you give power to, because the true healing power is in you. And getting caught up into whether or not you are being empathic and absorbing someone else's pain or actually manifesting it yourself, that questioning lowers the vibration around it altogether. If you stop judging the pain and raise your vibration, if that pain is not of your body as its origin, it's going to dissipate naturally. This is why we guide you to detune the judgment of all pain, because sometimes the origin is not necessarily a physical ailment. It is something that can pass, and the judging of it as bad, whether this is physical pain or even emotional pain, the judging of it as negative and the judging of it as bad perpetuates more. So if you detune the pain through appreciation and do some vibrational work around it to raise your vibration and appreciation of it, as opposed to fear of it, more than likely the pain is going to take care of itself. And then if it continues, that is the step where you actually seek out assistance within your belief system.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Janine, let me know how that resonated with you, sweetheart. And thank you so much for your question. Michael, you have a couple of really good questions. So let's go ahead and dive in. I would like to know what Jesus meant when he said, "My Father's house has many mansions. If that were not so, why would I have told you I would prepare it for you?" So it's really regarding the Bible stating that there are many mansions prepared for you in heaven.
The important thing to understand about any set of writings, especially writings that have been around for quite some time and have evolved and taken on a life of their own, as anything biblical has, that ultimately it's up to your interpretation. It's more important to understand that as you read and absorb something, you are going to understand it one way, and as you travel through life and in your own personal spiritual journey, if you will, come to understand things from a different perspective, you can go back and reread the same information and perceive it very differently. A book such as that was absolutely written to be perceived based on your current vibration, not literal. This is why there are so many that have studied that book for so long and interpreted it in so many different ways, and even taken their interpretation and rewritten it based on their interpretation. And then you have teachers that are teaching from it based on their interpretation. Then you have others that are disagreeing and say that is not right. You live in a polarized vibrational environment. The one that is absorbing and perceiving and defining based on their bubble of reality, you may not agree with that. The very best that you can do from any set of teachings, regardless of age, is to absorb it with a very open mind and determine your version of it, your interpretation of it. What does it mean to you? What it means to you is the most important thing, because someone else's definition of that may be very contradicting to your belief system. This idea that there is one set of rules and one set of teaching and one set of facts and everything else is wrong and that is right. You do not need to look very far around you to see that your world does not truly operate like that. You all have different belief systems. And in this idea of one is right and the other is wrong causes a lot of trouble in your world. And when you zoom out from that and begin absorbing everything and really going inward to define what it means for you and understand that that can evolve over time. And understand that these teachings that are prepared in written text were prepared at a very different time in a very different vibration. David was watching a music video from the 80s just before he came on here and was thinking about what a vastly different vibration the 1980s were from now. Think of how different the vibration was at the time of those writings. We are not saying that writings do not have value. We are guiding you to give your own value to the writings, to make it your life's work, to dive deeper and understand these things from your own perspective that you develop from all of the things that you're absorbing.
I love that. Stream, is it possible to look at the houses, because this is about our own interpretation? I see it as quantum. I see it as quantum possibilities.
The bubbles of reality is we very often use that term. It's very simplistic, but you are expressing yourselves as an eternal soul consciousness being. You are experiencing human life as an expression, one of endless expressions of that which you are, which is also an expression of that which we are. And in this life that you are interpreting, you are in the bubble of reality of humanity, and you are in the bubble of reality of planet Earth, and on from there infinitely. When you speak of houses, you are speaking of bubbles of reality. And you are all eternal beings expressing yourselves in endless bubbles of reality. And the bubble of reality that you're in now, you are all well aware, has taken different shapes over time as your beliefs evolve. And some of you evolve your thinking and beliefs more than others. You're all here on independent journeys. And there is value to be had in every journey, in every path. And those that are diving into deep spiritual work, absorbing teachings such as that which we offer, you are reshaping your bubbles of reality, sometimes significantly from where you began.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm so glad that you liked that, Michael. That was cool. Thank you, Janine, for your feedback too. Okay, so we're going to go on to Tanya. Tanya, this is a really deep, super important subject, and I'm really glad that you're opening yourself up for the answers. So she says, how do I avoid horrible things said to me from a family member that wants to see me fail, and try not to dwell on what was said? It's something she struggles with every day. I do understand that, but yeah.
Understand that your life's transgressors, and you all have your own set of transgressors, and certainly it's easy to believe that your transgressors are more severe than others. But understand, when we speak of this bubble of reality that you all create, your bubble of reality is created based on your reaction to the things that you have manifested in your lives. When you have this horrible family member that is saying these things to you, that is a vibration that is developed over time that you are a co-creator of, and that is rooted somewhere. We will always guide you to zoom out a bit and understand that if you remove fear and judgment from any topic, you get clarity. So if you remove fear and judgment from the words that were offered and the vibration that was offered, and see the one who is offering from a higher perspective, even one of appreciation, you will detune the transgressor energy in the relationship. And when you detune the transgressor energy of the relationship, you are claiming it, you are owning it, you are taking responsibility for co-creating it. You are no longer feeling like a victim. And stepping into that space is empowering you to no longer be impacted by it as you perhaps are now. It is a very powerful process. You are taught very much in this society to be victims, to think like you are victims, that people are treating you poorly, and that you are surrounded by toxic people and it's all their fault, and that everyone is against you. And the more you feel that way, the more of that you are going to perpetuate. And we understand very well that it is very real to you. It is not something that you are imagining. The words are severe. But finding that path to appreciation of and zooming out to the higher perspective that you are all connected to, and removing fear and judgment and viewing it differently from a different angle, understanding why one would offer such words to you. What is their perspective? Why are they feeling the need to do that? Work through all of that and understand that that is the detuning process. And when you detune, especially when it comes to other beings, especially when it comes to beings that are your relatives, you have these close connections that you're told that are sacred with others who are not your same vibration necessarily. Yet you place yourselves back there again and again and again because you're told, due to the bloodline, that you're supposed to stick around. Yet look at the grief that it very often causes. We are not necessarily guiding you to physically remove yourself. Certainly, if you have traveled far enough down the path where the relationship is abusive, yes, you do need to remove yourself, because it is easier to physically remove yourself than vibrationally remove yourself in that instance. But ultimately, the true healing is going to come from the vibrational work. And notice that if given the time to do the vibrational work of appreciation and detuning, they will remove themselves. Either their behavior will change significantly, or they will just simply disappear from your existence.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Hello, Deborah. It's so good to see you. She says she's been seeing spirits since age 5 and that she sees angels. She wants to know if there's angels where you are at.
We are asked about angels often, and angels are the human interpretation of our energy, of pure love, of pure positive energy. The angelic realm, if you will, it is a consciousness. And as a human being, you have been given the idea of a human-like apparition, if you will, and that is an interpretation of that energy. So when you believe that you are seeing angels and you are feeling that positive vibration, you are. But it is your human interpretation of the energetic realm that you are visualizing. Whether you are seeing it in front of your eyes or you are seeing it in your mind's eye, it's the same thing. You are in vibrational alignment with pure positive energy at that time, and your mind is creating an image for you that reflects to you what you are experiencing. And it's very powerful, and it's very protective, and it's very positive and transformative. So we guide you to revel in it, enjoy it. And many of you see these things when you're really, really young, and you are told that they are not real and to not pay attention, or that they are something that is evil or to be feared even. And you buy into that and you stop seeing it. It doesn't mean that the energy is not there and available to you at all times. It is. Very often you hear stories of small children that are actively participating with this energy. And then they move through life and they are told to disbelieve it, so they do, so that they can function in society, if you will. Then they move a little further in life and perhaps something tragic happens and they begin seeing this energy again. The veil that was placed there is lifted as a mechanism to get through life to the next space, if you will, because something that is happening is so traumatic that the only thing that's going to get you through is your own interconnection. But we are here to tell you that interconnection is always on. It's always available. The angels that you perceive are always with you. The fear, the doubt, the worry, the self-loathing, all of those things are the things that create the wall that keep you from experiencing that. But it is always there, always.
Beautiful. Let me know how that resonates with you, you guys. Very nice. So, can you talk about the 4 levels or 4 bodies that Source moves through with us? Personal identification, thought, feeling, emotion, and physical manifestation.
We are all of that, because we are consciousness, and everything that you are perceiving as physical is an expression of consciousness. So the building blocks of physical reality that you are perceiving as physical, to have a physical experience, are expressions of that which we are. The things that you look upon in full appreciation, the things that you want the most, especially when you are in a higher vibrational state of appreciation of all that you are physical expressions of what you call source. And the only things that you perceive as negative, the only reason that you're perceiving them as negative is because you have been taught to fear and you have been taught to judge, not understanding your eternal nature, not understanding that you are all eternal beings here in physical for a blip of time, if you will. It isn't even really time. And this physical experience was not meant to be forever. And it was not necessarily even meant to be a long time in linear time. And that your departure and your ending of physical is not the horrible, terrible, awful, negative thing that you're told that it is. The disconnection from your soul consciousness is the thing that drives you to fear death. And the very thing that drives you to judge death, and not only judge death, but also negatively judge what you call suffering. And the judgment of suffering as a negative, awful, terrible, bad thing actually begets more suffering. But when you stop fearing it and you stop judging it and you zoom out to a higher perspective of an eternal being, and you stop fearing death and you even stop fearing pain, you become what many of you call awakened. Because you're no longer needing other human beings to behave in a certain way to make you feel good. You are no longer absorbing the negativity of others. You're no longer fearing it. It's not even in your sphere of reality anymore, because you're not focused upon that. You are focused upon appreciation. You are focused upon love. You are focused upon loving yourselves and doing the things that you need to do to keep your vibration high, which is simply tearing down that wall that you all build as a sum of all of the negative experiences that you are currently judging in your life. When you remove fear and you remove judgment on all topics, and very often it's easier to start this practice externally. Stop judging the world around you. Stop needing others to behave in a way that pleases you. Stop judging even the ones that are treating you poorly. Stop judging it as poorly. Then, once you've detuned all of that judgment, you can turn inward and stop judging yourselves at long last. And when you do that, you are the closest thing to David's definition of awakened, which is the pictures that we've shown him of what an awakened being truly is. And understand that due to polarity and vibrational flow, that doesn't mean that you're going to be in super high vibration all the time. The vibrational flow is nothing to fear. The only thing negative about vibrational flow is your judgment of the lower vibrational time. The lower vibrational time is judged as negative, even though you all flow through it. It is only judged as negative because you have active transgressor energy that you have not detuned. And when you go down in vibration, that active transgressor energy grabs hold of you and triggers you down further and holds you down in a space that makes you very uncomfortable, where you do not wish to be. But that doesn't have to be. When you find your paths to appreciation of all of your transgressor energy, all of it, and you're no longer judging that or judging yourselves or judging the physical beings that are your transgressors, your lives change significantly. And you can bring yourselves to a space where you are riding this vibrational flow and you are savoring the up and you are appreciating the down. Because the more you appreciate the down, the faster you go right back up. And understand that in this flow, you're going to have obstacles in your lives. That's why you go down. But the downtime, the obstacles, are only bad because you've been taught that they're bad. But the obstacles exist via your own creation of them to inspire new creation. And your new creation is your expansion as a human being in your current lifetime and as an eternal soul consciousness being. All of this new creation that you all come to physical and do is the expansion of your species, is the expansion of your planet, is the expansion of the universe, and is the expansion of that which we are, which is all that is. And you're all contributing to that in your new creation. And if you are not experiencing obstacles, you are not creating. This is why we tell you over and over again that you are not moving planet Earth to some 5D or 12D or however you wish to label it, place of utopia where everything is perfect and you're all agreeing with each other about everything. You are not here for that. You exist that way when you're not physical. And we hear many of you saying that you cannot wait to be non-physical because you're going to be in this pure positive state. And that is true. But in that pure positive state, the thing you want more than anything is to come back to physical and experience obstacles for the expansion that is offered. So we are here sharing this message with you so that you can make peace with your current physical state, wherever you are in your journey. Now is the time, if you so choose, to view life very differently through appreciation of all of it. Appreciate the masks that you're told to wear, whether you're questioning their validity or not. Appreciate the pandemic or our perception of pandemic that you have manifested. We are asked almost daily whether this is real or not. It is real because it has been made real. So whether it is real or not is of no consequence. Your reaction to it, just as your reaction to everything that crosses your path as a physical being, is everything. So the pushing against, the fearing, is the thing that we guide you away from. Pushing against not wearing masks when the world is telling you to wear masks is just as detrimental as pushing against to wearing a mask because you're fearing contracting something. It is the same negative energy. You come full circle. Going with the flow. Going with the flow. And it is not about being a mindless sheep. It is not allowing fear to dictate your behavior, and make your choices from there. Understanding that pushing against on either side is polarized thinking. And you see the result of polarized thinking, especially in your politics. Nothing gets accomplished in a polarized environment. But eventually the polarity creates destruction. The destruction will ultimately bring you all back together on every topic. Politics is just a prime example of that is very current in the current vibration.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we're going to go into this next question, and it's regarding mental health. And what can you do? How can I help someone with anxiety? Is medication really the answer?
We will first guide you back to understand that you are all here manifesting your own experiences and attracting everything that you are experiencing. And as much as you may desire to help your fellow human, there is little that you can do to help one who is not looking or ready to be helped. The cure, if you will, to anxiety is trust. Trusting the universal process of creation. And when you detune fear and you detune judgment, which is a component of fear, your ability to trust automatically increases. When it comes to these teachings, we very much understand your perspective, that you find these teachings, you take on the practices such as what we have delivered and other teachers that have proven effective for other people, and it begins to really change your lives. Notice that there are a handful of people in your lives when you take on these practices that are in high appreciation for the new higher vibration version of you and want to know what you're doing. And some of them may be open to it. Others will not be. David works with people who change their lives so significantly that everyone in their lives want to know what they've done differently. And 90% of them think that it's insane, even though they are in awe of the changes that they are witnessing. You are not in a one-size-fits-all world. Many of your friends and family and loved ones will not be ready for what you're taking on in your journey that you're doing to change you. So the very best that you have to offer your fellow humans, especially those that are very close to you, is the higher vibrational version of you. And when the one asks, how are you free of anxiety when I am riddled with anxiety? Share with them what you do, and be prepared for any array of response. Because the one who is suffering from anxiety very often is placing themselves there and choosing to do so again and again and again and again. In fact, you are all placing yourselves exactly in your reality. But understand that that is not for you to judge. That is simply a fact of the fact that you all create your own bubbles of reality. And the ones around you who are suffering, who you want to help, and we very much understand that you want to help them, may not be ready for your brand of help. And when it comes to medication depends on belief. You all heard of the placebo effect. That one that believes medication is helping them is being helped by the medication, even though if the medication is not real. It's allowing to believe. So if they are one who believes in medication, they wish to give that their power, then yes. But of course, your medications have side effects. And very often these medications that are reducing stress or reducing anxiety are doing so by numbing and creating a numbed version of. If that's the very best, the one who is being treated, the best path they have, then that is the correct path for them. It is not for any of you to judge. However, know that you do not need to rely on that if your belief system facilitates your own personal healing.
Beautiful. So CJ says, then why do we have to experience emotional pain? Seems cruel to be here and have to have internal help. Can you help? Can't you access help you can't access unless you find source? If you never find it, do you just suffer? In other words, if you can't reconnect to source, is it just a life of suffering? And why do we have to experience this?
You all have an innate knowing of a consciousness that is beyond you. You are told that it is many different things. We understand that. And you all come projecting yourselves directly into contrast. You project yourselves directly into the path of misinformation, of information that is not useful to you, of pain, of suffering, of poverty, of illness, of prejudice, of all sorts of things. And when you are in your human physical state, while you're experiencing it, it is a very common path, especially in the current vibration of planet Earth, to find that suffering is negative and awful and terrible, and you shouldn't experience it, and you were judging it, and you were taught to judge it, and you were taught to fear it, and you were taught to feel like victims. What we are offering here is a very different perspective, what we have termed a zoomed out perspective, because it is available to all of you. But your current society has drawn you down this path, and you have gone through a very long period on planet Earth for humanity of a time period that we have called society building. And your religions and your governments and your monarchies and all of these things have co-created to the building of societies. And the building of societies have brought you to a place where you have created great technology. Now you have come full circle. You have created the technology to where you are now shedding the need for the tools of society building, because you are all wanting freedom and joy. But notice that there were prior generations that were more at peace with the idea of suffering. They were very at peace with that idea that as a human being, you were here to serve a deity, and suffering was part of the deal, and they made peace with it. And you view these people from your now perspective in judgment. How could they think that way? But you've evolved, and you've evolved to a place to where you're no longer needing these tools of oppression, if you will, these tools of control. And your Earth, your planet, and humanity is going through a period of awakening. And in this awakening period, you are releasing your need for all of these tools of control. But as long as you separate yourselves from your eternal nature, and as long as you are judging, and as long as you are operating in fear, you're going to suffer. And you are going to create suffering for yourselves until you find a way out. The way out could be a very long suffering life. The way out could be an early demise, return to non-physical, or the way out could be making sense of it. You are all here on different journeys. It is our promise to you that there is no wrong journey, that the one that chooses an early exit, whether it is a more natural means or self-inflicted, will return to a completed state and understand the expansion that was offered in that unique experience. We very often compare your current human life experience and all of your physical experiences to weekend trips. You all like to take these little weekend trips, 1 or 2 nights away, not such a big deal. Come and go with ease. If it doesn't go well, you just take another one. That's what your physical existences are like in your eternal perspective. And we are guiding you to view your current human experience more from that perspective. This is a blip in time. This is a weekend trip. You are here having an experience. You are here having an experience perhaps as someone who has suffered a lot. But you can all come to a place where you view the suffering differently and heal yourselves of it in your viewing of it differently. This is why we call it detuning. You're not eradicating, you're not erasing, you're not forgetting, you're detuning. You're viewing it differently. The world is no longer cruel. Pain is no longer bad. It is something that you can move through and heal from. Poverty is a temporary experience that teaches you lessons. You can find joy in every experience. And when you come to the place where you're finding joy in every experience, and you have moved to the vibration of no longer needing to be right, no longer needing others to behave in a way that pleases you, that you agree with, no longer fearing, no longer allowing external tools of control to control your bubble of reality. When you do this work, you are free of judgment of others' suffering. And suddenly the world is a beautiful place. Suddenly the world is full of beauty and wonder. Of course it is. And when you view from that perspective, you are offering more to your fellow humans than anyone that is toiling away in any type of benevolent endeavor. There's nothing wrong, certainly, with benevolent endeavors, but understand that your high vibrational version of you is offering more to society, more to the expansion of your planet, and more to the deliverance of humanity to the next level that you're all heading toward. We understand that there are plenty of signs of things being destroyed in your current society. These things are being destroyed because you no longer need them. And collectively, you are all evolving to a space where you are questioning, do you need government? Do you need organized religion the way that it's been? Do you need monarchy? Do you even need your police force? You're questioning all these things. That does not mean they're all going to disappear, even in a lifetime. But they're going to evolve. They're going to change. Their power will be detuned as you all understand that you are all eternal beings. And as physical beings, you are all global citizens. And as global citizens, you are all coming together like never before via the technology that you've created. And you are questioning. And your questioning is causing the destruction. But the destruction is causing an evolution. And the evolution is delivering something new, something better, something more up to speed with the current vibration of planet Earth. And notice that your younger generations understand this more. They are more about freedom and less about tradition than the generations that came before them. And that would have not happened, though, if the generations that came before didn't do their own version of that. This is why. This is how. It is the evolution of thought playing out in very fast real time on planet Earth. David has walked the earth for 52 years, and he states very often, seen tremendous change. And every time something seems like it can't evolve more, it evolves even faster. You're all doing this. This is your collective consciousness. And when you arrive at a set of teachings such as this, and you're wavering, understanding that there's great information in these teachings for you, and still defaulting back to, but why is the world so cruel? Why are things so awful? That is your own work that needs to be done to either turn away from these teachings or forge ahead fearlessly, make peace with all of that, and fully come to understand vibrational flow, the real meaning of high and low vibration, the fact that there really is no negative, and zooming out to our perspective of non-judgment. When you stop judging yourselves and judging the world around you, your world changes significantly.
Beautiful. Well, we have came upon the hour stream, so I do believe it is time for us to go ahead and end the questions now. We got through most of them.
Very good. We will sum up simply by saying that we understand that we are offering ideas that are very contrary to what you are being taught in many places and absorbed in many places. Our intention with sharing the information that we share is to allow all of you to claim your true creative power, and first creating your own positive bubble of reality, of self-love, first and foremost, of not needing anything external to shift for you to bring you joy and happiness. That joy and happiness is in all of you as you are right now in your very moment. And when you claim that and realize that, and shed the idea of victimization, and shed the idea of judgment and fear, and truly trust the universe to care for you, your lives will evolve tremendously. That is why we are here. That is why we are flowing through David the way that we are and sharing this information. And notice that all of humanity is not ready for this. But if you have found your paths to these teachings, and you have hung on and you've listened and you've absorbed, we guide you to perhaps listen some more, because there is great information here for you if you choose to absorb it. And there is significant life transformation for each of you. And in transforming yourselves, you are doing such a great service to humanity, because as your bubble of reality evolves to one of no fear, no judgment, and high trust, your bubble is creating the next bubble of humanity. And you're all going to move more and more toward that as you do this. So the very best that you have to offer your fellow human is your high vibration version of you, of self-love. Very important. Much love. That's all we have.
Welcome back. That was fun. That was a good one.
As I cough, yeah. Good.
That was. Thank you. What a great audience you guys were today. Thank you, everybody. You have been absolutely phenomenal. I gotta tell you, you had some great questions today. So thank you very much. We did a lot of deep dives. Deep. So go back and listen to it. If you just joined us, go back to the beginning. Make sure. Well, we got to the channeling about 25 minutes in. So, but really listen to the messages today. They're really powerful, you guys.
Very good. I'm a little bit of a daze. I don't remember much, but that's okay. That usually means it was really good. That you must have gone deep. You gave them a good workout.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
And I just get to soak it all in, and which is always a great thing, because like I said, I was grateful. I'm like, Dave was like, hey, can you? Yeah, I can, because this is my time to be able to get my stream injection, and I love it because I need it. I need that lift, pick me up, get that vibration straight, get balance.
Here too. I'm buzzy after I do that, so it feels amazing. It really does. I can't wait till we can all do this in person, though.
That's coming.
For that. I'm jonesing for in person. Let's all set the intention to do in person.
It's coming, you guys. I'm gonna be in. I'll be in Palm Springs on Sunday, so I have Joan of Angels is going to become Reverend Joan of Angels, and Prince Fleet Easton. So they're having a big thing out there. So I'll be out in the desert this weekend. I'm excited about that.
You can text me. Maybe we'll grab a cup of coffee or something.
Okay.
I'm around.
I will do that. You guys, go to the
Oh, and
stream
I'm
of David.
on. C. Megan Michael, were you on? I always forget.
Hey,
I am on with C. Megan Michael. If you're still on, please put the announcement in here about your event on Saturday. My brain is fried right now from channeling, but I do remember I'm going to be channeling Saturday on her event, and so hopefully she's watching and she'll pop that information on here, and I will pop it into Spirituality Gone Wild also.
yeah,
So
please do.
about
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Debbie's good at that stuff. I am just like, oh gosh, I totally forgot all
Share
that.
that out. Go to the streamofdavid.com. Definitely book an appointment with David. Mention that you saw it here on Spirituality Gone Wild, or you saw it with Debbie, and you'll get an extra bonus. But you'll need to talk to David privately. Book your appointment. Talk to the stream, see if this is right for you. Thai boot camp rocks. I can tell you guys right now, it totally rocks. Make sure that you go to spiritualitygonewild.com, sign up for our Untamed Club if you want to get more of David behind the scenes, which I'll explain later. And also, get ready, guys. TV, here we come.
Next stop, globalization.
Dude,
Global Spirituality Gone Wild.
we're going so global.
I love it. I love
nuts.
I love
guys,
it. Well, because I have a podcast, and because of the podcast, as you know, we've had people all over the world in Thai,
Yeah.
people in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and all over Europe and all over Australia. Now we have people in Mexico in, and of course, Canada's been in forever. It's so cool to meet people all over the world that all want the same stuff. They all want joy.
Right.
They all want abundance. They all want clarity, and they want to do good for the world.
That's right.
Yeah. Very cool.
And we're bringing a lot of platforms with us. So, it's time because of a lot of the restrictions and some of the other things. So, a lot of these teachings need to have no restrictions and no boundaries.
Yeah.
So,
well, the cool thing about what you're doing and what everybody's offering in Spirituality Gone Wild is it gives people tools to better understand what's going on in the world. When it's so easy to turn on to log onto Facebook or turn on the news and just have the crap scared out of you. But there's nothing scary going on. This is a wonderful time of evolution and awakening, and we're all part of it. And that's why you're here. That's why you're here. So that's what we're all about. Thank you all so much. Debbie, I adore you, as you know. Thank you so much.
I adore you too.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. I love you. Bye, Julie. I do see you. Bye, guys.